How about that cigar?
How about that cigar?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Drew Estate Cigar Studios for episode 179 of How About That Cigar Live. Thank you so much for joining us live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and if you're listening after the fact on the audio podcast, guys, thanks so much for listening to How About That Cigar. When you drive down the road, when you work out, whatever it is you do, when you listen to your favorite audio podcast, thanks so much for making How About That Cigar a part of it. And we are here in the Drew Estate Cigar Studios talking this week about the new blackened American whiskey M81 by Drew Estate. The exploration into the deepest, darkest, and heaviest depths of the mystical Maduro leaf. Blackened Cigars M81 by Drew Estate presents a journey through different Maduro leaves, starting with a thick and oily San Andreas Maduro wrapper, followed by a thick and meaty Connecticut River Valley broadleaf Maduro binder, and finally a blend of Nicaraguan and Pennsylvania broadleaf Maduro tobaccos.
Naughty.
Blackened Cigars M81 by Drew Estate will be presented in beautiful copper-accented black 20-count boxes and will debut in a 5x50 Robusto, 6x52 Toro, 7x50 Corona Doble, and a 5x43 Corona. For more information, please visit drewestate.com. So I don't think there's any sports stuff we need to talk about this week. So let's move right. We don't have to
stretch.
What is
I
that?
gotta stretch a little bit.
What is that you're wearing? Is that a semi-pro team?
Let's talk about the NFC North division leading Minnesota Vikings.
We don't have to talk about that.
Now,
I mean, I'm just saying we don't have to.
I'll say this. We're 7-1 and we're lucky to be there because I don't think we're as good as our record is. Either that or our coach is truly a genius that nobody sees, but I don't see that. We have barely pulled off some wins, and don't get me wrong, I am grateful to be in the position we're in, and it looks like the Vikings will probably walk away with the division.
Most likely, yeah.
But we will be one and done in the playoffs. That's my prediction.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the Packers are a disaster.
Yeah.
They're an absolute embarrassment. They're a disaster. Aaron Rodgers.
Detroit.
Aaron Rodgers is playing like shit.
Oh.
The receivers are playing like shit.
They can't. I mean, he doesn't have anybody.
They're not giving the ball to Aaron Jones in the red zone.
And how many times has LaFleur said we need to give the rock to Aaron Jones more, and then it never happened?
Well, who's calling the plays? I mean, if he's saying they need to give the ball to Aaron Jones in the red zone more, and he's the one calling the plays,
I know.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. So here's something to think about in the NFL right now for your starting quarterbacks in a number of notable starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Matt Stafford, defending world champion quarterback, 3-5 record.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, 3-5 record.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, 4-5 record.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers, 3-6.
Wow.
Kirk Cousins, 7-1. Jalen Hurts, 8-0. The world doesn't make sense anymore. The world is upside down. We have now crossed over into like a parallel dimension where up is down and down is up, and the Vikings are good and the Packers suck.
I will say that,
and I don't want to live there.
I did not see Jalen Hurts doing what he has done. I am really impressed.
The team overall has been playing
fantastic
really well. If you're an Eagles fan, God bless you. But
the one that surprises me the most this year, who's your biggest surprise team that's doing
the
better?
Giants, the New York Giants.
Okay, and for me, it's the Jets.
And they've been doing fine, but the New York Giants surprised me more just because of where they came from last season.
No, yeah,
it's
either one of those teams for me.
And also, so Minnesota Wild, and this is our first show in 2 weeks because we took Halloween off last week. And at the time, the Wild were really struggling, terrible, and now they've pretty much evened it up. They're 5-6 through 11 games. They're playing better. They made a ton of line adjustments. I think that's going to make a difference going forward. We'll see. Sadly, the Phillies lost the World Series. I was really pulling for the Phillies to win the World Series. I think I was more, and I'm not one of those people that roots for teams to lose. But when it comes to some of the players on the Houston Astros, I was rooting for them to lose. I'm not going to lie.
Yep.
But I'm happy that Dusty Baker won a World Series.
I am too. Why do I look homeless right now?
You don't look homeless. You look traveled. You look like you've been around the world and
There
back
we go.
again.
That's a little.
And woke up in the empty semi trailer behind a mattress factory.
That's fair. That's fair.
The methadone clinic.
That's well,
Maybe. Well, let's jump into our special guests.
Oh, do we have special guests?
We absolutely have special guests this week.
Awesome.
On episode 179. And as always, on How About That Cigar Live, special guests are brought to us by our friends at Corona Cigar Company. Corona Cigar Company and coronacigar.com, the internet's largest and easiest to use virtual cigar store. Corona Cigar Company offers the finest handmade cigars, humidors, and cigar accessories at the absolute lowest possible price. You'll also find unique and limited cigars made with Florida sun-grown tobacco. As a proud American, president and founder of Corona Cigar Company, Jeff Borshowitz knew it was possible to bring cigar tobacco farming back to Florida. At Corona Cigar Company, you'll find the best selection anywhere in the world of cigars containing this special Florida sun-grown tobacco. If you live in Florida or are just visiting, be sure to visit any of the great Corona Cigar locations in downtown Orlando, Sand Lake, Tampa, Lake Mary, and a new location coming soon to Sarasota. To learn more, visit coronacigar.com and floridasungrown.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please join us, put your hands together, and welcome to episode 179 of How About That Cigar Live from Amdendola Family Cigar Company, Jeffrey Amdendola and Chris Monaco. Guys, welcome back to the show.
What's going
What's
on?
up, fellas? Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Good
Hi.
Thanks for
boys
having
doing?
us.
Good to have you guys back on.
These fucking guys.
These-
Huh?
Look at this guy. Looks like a
Fucking
bum
guy.
over there.
Man, it's fucking
Like the
fedora.
Unabomber, like a ratchet Unabomber over there.
Put some gel in your hair. Come on. Where's your hair gel?
Yeah, hair gel. That's one that I haven't had in a long ass
We
time.
can tell.
Yeah. Wow.
Clearly.
Nothing but love here. Nothing but love.
It is a style that you have going on
It
right
is.
now. I don't know what style it is,
I
but
don't
it is
either.
a style.
I mean, when you wear a jersey, you just kind of gotta.
Yeah, when you wear a jersey, you just let it all go.
Yeah.
It's like the most interesting man in the world, like going wrong now. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
The most interesting
I
man
love you guys. You know I'm fucking.
Plus-
with
Oh, I know, brother.
plus cocaine.
Yeah.
you. There you go.
Yeah. On the on the plastic covered sofa of my trailer. All right. So Jeff, bro,
Yes.
we had an awesome time here in the Twin Cities.
We did.
Bro, it was a blast having you come up and do some events and do some shop runs and stuff. Number
Had
one
some good food.
number
some
one
good
food
food.
in the Twin Cities. What was it?
Wait, number one what?
Food. What was the best food you had here?
The Asian spot. What was that?
Oh,
Pho.
Trey Chow, my pho.
Oh, you went to that.
That was that was really good.
Phenomenal.
It was phenomenal. And it was the perfect time. I don't know. It was just right. It was great.
Dope. And real quick, what do you guys Chris, what are you smoking tonight?
I'm actually smoking a Padrino. I'm on the butt end of the Padrino.
Oh yeah. And
And then I got a cannoli on deck, a red cannoli on deck.
dope. And Jeff, what do you got?
I'm actually smoking a test blend sample.
We'll talk a little bit more about that
I
later.
think we will. I am also smoking a Padrino, and I'll tell the story about this after we get Matt all
I'm
up here.
gonna fire up the Especial.
Delicious.
Mm.
All
All right, let's hit the toast cam. When lighting your cigar, it is important to be patient, pay close attention to detail, and focus on the tobacco. In the same way, Steve Saka brings those same qualities to the ultra premium cigars of Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Patience, close attention, and focus on the tobacco are the qualities that Saka and Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust have become known for. From Sober Mesa to Umbagog, Dunbarton has a blend that will fit your palate, your mood, any occasion. Visit DunbartonCigars.com to learn more.
You did a phenomenal job there toasting. Was that you? No.
That was Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Matt.
you sounded very, very professional. Very, very
Aw.
It's a
professional.
phenomenal,
Like a
phenomenal
gentleman.
job there.
Classy,
Look at that.
pal. Classy.
Look at that toast he did.
You guys were a big deal. Do you know we're a big
You
deal?
are a big deal.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
I mean,
What do you think?
come on.
Well, I want to talk to you a little bit briefly because you talked about the food in the Twin Cities when Jeff was up here for a visit. And you know, when you go from one city to another, you never know what you're going to find when it comes to different styles of food, whether it's Asian food, Italian food, Greek food, whatever kind of food it is. And were you able to find acceptable Italian food in the Twin Cities area?
I was just going to say that we didn't have Italian food, but Garrett took me to I forget the name of it, just like the market, the Italian, bro. That cannoli was really good. Like, it was so fresh, and it still had that, like, I loved when but it's like kind of gritty. It's grainy, not gritty, grainy. Like, it was like freshly whipped.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, that was phenomenal. And
the market there is fantastic.
Yeah, that was just a cool vibe. I was actually trying to go back there later that night just to check it out. Yeah, that walk down the street from my hotel. But
yeah, it was just a couple blocks from his hotel that he was staying at. I ended up getting, so they have basically this little cooler that you can do a pizza kit. They've got the dough that they made fresh that day, pepperoni, you know, all the different meats, and the mozzarella.
Mozzarella. Oh, come on,
mozzarella.
Murder on it. Mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
Guy mozzarella.
No.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Look at him. Look at his face. Look at his face.
Look at his
Oh shit!
I'm saving
What do you expect?
I'm saving that little clip.
That is good. But I made a pizza on the grill the next night, and it was fantastic.
It looked good. That looked really good, actually.
So I went back and I looked, and the last time we had, because we've talked to you at trade shows since the last time you were on the big show, but the last time we had both you on the big Monday night show that we're doing right now was way back in April of 2021, episode 105.
Wow,
that's right.
Okay.
Overdue.
It's been a minute. Yeah,
so
it's been a minute.
2 years.
A minute. And so I want a quick reminder. What was the date that the brand Amendola's Family Cigar Company actually launched?
The relaunch?
Yeah.
It was like what?
February,
it was 19.
19, we did the relaunch.
Okay.
That's when we rebranded.
It was like February, March of no. It was 20, right?
Yeah.
COVID.
We
started in 2019.
We basically started in
actually
19. In 2020 was
relaunched the brand
yes.
in 2020, right when COVID hit.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah, because I remember now. That's right. That's when we changed everything, and then when we were about to do everything and drop everything, that's when COVID hit and fucked the world up. We were like, holy shit, now what? You know, right at the worst time. But it worked out good for us. It worked out good for us in a way, because it gave us that time to regroup. So
and looking back at, you know, the the hurdles you had to jump over because of COVID and all the other bullshit that was going on in the world then. And over these last 2 years, 2.5 years, almost 3, what's been, some of the lessons learned, some of the surprises that you guys have found along the way, since relaunching all this?
Well, you want to start with that question?
That's a loaded question.
Take that one. Yeah.
Go ahead, pal.
Well, I mean, listen, one thing, that never goes away is obviously the passion. We love this shit, whether we're doing it, as a business, but even if we didn't, like, we just love cigars. We love shooting the shit, talking cigars, and that's obviously hasn't changed. But one thing, I don't want to say anything that's changed, but we've definitely learned, to roll with the punches more, whereas in the beginning, you're so gung-ho and you're so motivated because, you have, potential customers, and that, like, you think that everything's always going to run smoothly. And then, like, now me being in this business, 4 years, still having a lot to learn, but still in my, feeling that I've also learned a lot in the process, definitely kind of go with the flow more. Shit's going to happen. People, you're going to have to deal with it. That's part of the business, and just make the best of a bad situation and try to, you know that the people that have been with you and have been supporting us know what we're about and know that we try to do the best and bring the best product that we can, but they also, understand and are, that this is a business and that we don't have total control over everything. We have a lot of, we it's up to our factory partners and shipping, and, there's a lot of logistical things that are involved. It's not just like, picking up a phone, placing an order, and then it's just going to be here. This business is a lot harder than it looks. Like Jeff said, you got to be, we've said this 100 times, this thing's a marathon, it's not a sprint, and you got to know, when to kind of just go with the punches, realize that, problems are going to happen. It's how you react to them. If you're able to take care of them and fix it, because things aren't going to always go smoothly. And if you can get to the point where you're not going to stroke out, because I've been there, ask Jeff, you both know me. I
had to force pills down his throat to stay alive.
I start losing. I'm like, what the fuck? And I start getting mad. And I start throwing shit and getting angry. But it's like, you can't go to 10. I can't do it anymore because it doesn't change. It doesn't change things. That's not going to help fix the problem. So if anything, for myself, I've definitely learned that too. To like tone it down a little bit, understand, that people are trying their best and shit happens. And, you gotta, show your balls sometimes, is you gotta let people know, like, listen, this is a business, and, like, mistakes can't keep on happening.
Right.
Right. That's unacceptable. But we're a smaller company, we're not backed by a big investor. We're not, 50 years been in business with family, we're going to have to deal with the we're going to have our bumps, have to take our bumps and bruises, man, and deal with it. And it's just the way it goes. So.
To tag on to that, like Chris was saying, we came out real strong that first year, even through COVID. We did our first trade show, the PCA in 2021. And everything was hot, man. We were just moving. It was like nonstop. But then there was one point where we did have we almost had to take a step back, not a step back per se, but some production issues, some little things, logistical things that we almost kind of had to, like, all right, let's take a step back because we got to stop selling. Like our sales were growing higher or faster than what we produce. Or get here, you know what I mean? So we had to learn that, like, how to, all right, we kind of have to play off our sales with our production times and figure out, all right, we need to make more cigars next time because we're selling this, blah, blah. Learning curves, but it was good because that's how you don't know unless you know. And we figured it out. and we're still here, rocking and
So-
rolling.
You just gotta be able to maneuver, man. You know,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
it's
for
not
sure.
always what people are gonna want to hear. You're not always gonna make everybody happy. We're trying our best, you know, but what we're able to physically do on our own, like that's one thing I tell any customers if they can't get product. I'm like, listen, just so you know, I'm doing the best that I possibly can. You know, I'm leaning on the people that I can, and you know, there's only so much, you know, that we can do. I can't get on a plane every other minute and go to Nicaragua. Either can Jeff. You know, let's be real here. You know, so we do the best that we can, and you know, it's a good thing that people want our product. You know,
Yeah.
and every time we do a production, we do double it. But then by the time we double it and get it back, it's all now we have to triple it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's
Yeah.
kind of like, so
It's good,
you know,
though.
but it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, but you know, it's you know we're you know a big proponent of, you know, especially, you know, as a smaller company, like I said, you know, we're self-financed. I'm a big proponent of, you know what, take little bites to get to the top of the mountain. You know, like just as long as we're growing, take little bites. You know, with sales, as much as people, if they're getting aggravated and we can't get them product, at least we know that they want it. You know, and we're doing the best that we can to get it to them. You know, and if we could just try to get to a point where we're consistent in and day out, and that's what we're working on as far as trying to find our sweet spot for production. Because every time we think we're gonna have enough, we end up fucking selling out, and we're like, holy shit, we thought this was gonna last us like 2-3 months, and it goes quicker than that. So you know, but we're doing the best that we can, and we're trying to do steady and small pace, you know, to keep it moving in the right direction. So.
And I know we touched on it the last time that we had you guys both on the show. Right now, Jeff, this is a full-time thing for you. You are all in the deal. Chris, you're a male stripper.
Chippendales.
Yeah, right.
He's in high demand.
Too fat for that shit now, pal. Too fat now.
He's got all the cougars lined up.
Chris, can you walk us through what are you bringing to the table for Amdendola Family Cigars?
I handle a lot of the business behind the scenes stuff, man. Like, so I handle a lot of the majority, you know, of logistics, production times, band designs, box designs, getting it printed, all our UPC codes, getting all that material to Nicaragua. So, you know, all the finances, our QuickBooks, our credit cards, our bank accounts, you know, and then I deal with a lot of the sales. So a lot of the bigger accounts, you know, I deal with that, like JR and our Pravada and Smoke Inn now and Atlantic Cigars, and you know, so those are a lot of the big accounts that when we first linked up that I brought to the table, and then you know, kind of went from there. You know, like Jeff handles a lot of the, you know, the events, the tobacco. But we do everything together though. I mean, you know, we both have our strong points, and I deal with my stuff, and he deals with his stuff. But we both, when it's time, if we have to, you know, can step into each other's role. You know, and that's the good thing. But you know, we have our strengths. You know, Jeffy likes to go out and shake hands and kiss babies, and you know,
I was in the magazine.
I'm a little bit more.
That's what you gotta do.
I'm a little bit more. Hey, that's what they want.
$20 is $20.
Social sometimes, but no, man. I handle a lot of the stuff behind the scenes. A lot of the stuff behind the scenes that you don't see. A lot of the headaches, to be honest. if you want to know the truth.
So with your Smoke Inn Atlantic JR situation, and we're not making a statement of good, bad, or anything. Did relationships with some of those juggernauts lead to like this oh shit moment of our eyes may have been a little bigger than our plate?
No, because we're getting, you know, I mean, listen, we just did the event last week for Casa de Monte Cristo JR.
The Casa location.
And you know, the Carolinas.
Okay.
So, you know, we're working closely now, you know, that we did that, and we actually, you know, we got a lot of good feedback on that from the upper management. that they're looking to, because what I've been trying to do is get us into obviously Northeast, Paramus, Jersey, the bigger. I mean, if we're doing good in the Carolinas, I think we should, do good in Jersey with our own people with a cigar called the cannoli. So, what I mean? So, we've Florida, same thing. That's why I'm actually doing an event with Smokin' next week at the West Palm Beach location. So we're trying to grow those relationships. And from what it looks like, we'll be able to capitalize on it, in due time, and just keep up doing what we're doing, and maintaining the good relationships and doing the events and having them be successful. And I mean, only good things can happen from that. I mean, that's the plan, So, but plus, listen, I also want to, we have a rep, up your way.
What?
We have a rep. Yeah, we have a rep up your way. We got a rep in Texas. We want to get into smaller mom and pop shops too. We're not just trying to do juggernauts. The real reason why that started was, when I got with Jeff, it was very local, and my thing was like I wanted to bring it on more of a national stage. But the problem was, in order to get our cigars, if you weren't local, you couldn't really get Amdendola cigars. Mm-hmm. So my vision in the beginning was like, listen, I had good ties with the people in Atlanta because they were family friends, and then I started knocking on the doors of some of the bigger ones, because I wanted to have at least a little online presence, so people like out in Minnesota at the time, or Kansas, or they could at least go online if they've heard of Amdendola Family Cigars and be able to get them online, and then eventually say if they like them enough, I would tell people, listen, you want them in your local shop, give me the guy's name and number, I'll send them samples, and that's another way we grew. So it's like I said, this thing, it's all about relationships. It takes time. I think we're going in the right direction. We need to, obviously, there's always things we could do better. We're trying to do that. We're doing the best that we can with what we're working with, and I think the future is bright. And just as long as we keep on working hard and keep on trying to make the right moves, No,
I don't want to take over.
No, go ahead.
So after Jeff was in town, that next week I had Mickey Pegg in town.
Oh boy, good guy. Mickey's a good guy.
Great guy.
We talked about Amdendola cigars a few times on that trip, and we talk about the time where we were sitting around the table at TPE and having the Padrino for the first time. And Mickey later that night said that was the best cigar that he had at the show.
He told us that when we saw him at when did we see him? We saw him at the Great Smoke last year after the Great Smoke.
Yeah,
that's when you were there. You were in that picture.
And we were there, and that was March.
Yeah.
Several months later, when I was doing a thing with Mickey, he was like, "Bro, that Amdendola is still the best cigar that I've had." This year. He reiterated that again on this last trip and said it's one of the best cigars he's ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, just last week.
So
that's awesome. That's great.
I mean, somebody like Mickey, who, the guy's been around since like the Taft administration.
He's been in the game a minute.
Yeah. The guy knows his stuff, and those are high accolades. And I got to say that, so last night, sitting at Sodi's, where Jeff, you had an event when you were here in town.
Yeah.
And the owner of the shop.
Good spot.
Yeah. The owner of the shop said, here's a bag of cigars. Why don't you guys, just pick out one of your cigars? And he had all these various, and I see this purple in there, and I'm like, what is that? Is that, is it? It was a Padrino. And I had smoked my last Padrino that I had, I don't know, like 3-4 months ago. And I sent you a picture. I was like, this is my last one, but I can't sit on it any longer. He's like, yeah, sad day. And so I was like,
you could always give it to a retailer and try to make a sale, but that Go ahead. Sorry, you go ahead. I'm just busting.
God forbid.
It's research. I'm doing quality control. I'm good with people.
I couldn't resist, bro.
I
gotta say the Padrino is my favorite cigar that we make. And between that and the red cannoli, it's probably my favorite because those were like honestly the first two cigars when me and Jeff linked up and really started redoing everything as far as blending and just the factories. That was the one cigar that is dear to my. I'm a big Connecticut broadleaf guy, and we changed that. That was originally Jeffrey. What was that?
Sumatra. It was a Sumatra wrapper.
A Maduro Sumatra.
Yeah.
And we changed that because we were like, you know what, we need a Connecticut, and that size, that flavor profile, that's like all day long, all day, every day.
Thing.
That's my thing. But now
my
I gotta
favorite
say,
blend
the
is the Special. Special is my.
Now that's more of a
thing.
complex blend. That was more Jeffy's baby. That was like the Oscuro Maduro, the Habano, because he loves Habano, and that is more of a that when we blended that,
it changes so much.
It's special. It's more complex. So like that
it's
cigar
an experience
changes
like
more.
all the way through.
Where the Padrino was solid. It's my favorite cigar, but it's through and through. It doesn't change much. It's straight power, straight flavor, chocolate, cream, like anise almost, like especially on the retrohale plum. But it's like that almost all the way through. Whereas with the Special, it changes, it progresses. It's got that spiciness, and then it gets real nutty, and almost like a cocoa powder, and then picks back up. So it's more of a journey. Whereas the Padrino is like the straight great flavor, straight from beginning to end.
Well, and we even said when we were on at TPE in 21, we were on with Coop briefly on his show, and he was asking us what a standout
I remember that
the TPE show was for us, and we both named the Special. It was a standout cigar from the show.
Absolutely. Now, rumor has it, cigars are in for both the Padrino and a Special.
But they are.
Okay, so break down where we're at now with current inventory and what this next 12 months is going to look like for production levels for both the Padrino and a Special.
Well, we're going to do, as far as production levels, those cigars are going to be released once a year as like a signature series, 2 blends. We're doubling and tripling our order, but they're going to be pretty much a 1-year release, and we hope to at least next year make enough for everybody and more. And we're telling our retail partners now that if they want them, they've become such a everyone is seeking them out. It's become a thing. Even in England, we have distribution in England, and they love the Special Padrino over there. Like they want. Actually, today they're gonna double, triple their order in overseas. So we're gonna do that, and then the cannolis and core line they're more of a regular production. Typically, a regular production for us, and we're good. We're pretty much stocked up right now.
So, do you have any hopes to make the Especial and Padrino a regular production cigar? What is keeping those lines from becoming?
Well, okay, so this is the thing. All right, we have now as a boutique. I guess what we call, everybody calls it, we don't like that, but boutique, brand or whatever. We have a lot of, blends. If you really think about it, we have 9 now. We're coming out with something new, which we'll talk about. It's gonna be 10 blends. So and then we have to run accordingly to what's selling and what So obviously we put a big order in of Padrino and Special. But we're even looking now. We're like, shit. We don't even know if that's going to be enough. Maybe we should have tripled it. But at the time, double was when we put the order in. 6-7 months ago, that double would have been enough. Now it's like, all right, now it might not be enough. So, it's a learning curve every single time, man. Unless you have endless money. Now, if we had the amount of money that Fuente had, and I can go spend, 50,000 at one, 75 at another one, another 100. If I had 250,000 of expendable liquid money to spend, that would be a different story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even if it did came out
50,
once a year, we would have it for the whole year.
We're taking 50, 100,000, flipping it to make more, and then using it right away to make more of something that we already ran out of that we thought we were, so it's a little different, as
I'll
far
Venmo
as
you like $20. Let's make this happen.
Bro,
add a couple zeros on there. We'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5
so
zeros.
I mean, listen, just to give you an example, we've got what 20,000 cigars coming in, and those are going to be gone.
Right.
Yeah.
They're all accounted for.
What are you gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, and you guys
we'll make more.
have run into the same, we've heard from everybody, supply chain issues, whether it's bands or boxes, and you guys have run into the same problems, I assume.
Same thing. That's what I'm saying. Where at one point we had to all right, we gotta wait. We can't sell. We gotta all right, let's chill out. Let's make sure everyone's good. Don't know what's going on, but we almost had to literally not sell because we didn't have anything to sell.
We don't want to get to a point where we're promising things that we can't deliver on, and we try not to do that. Right. I mean, we go off of what we're told and what and it's not to say that our factory partners aren't solid with us or we don't have good communications with them, but shit happens with them too over there. Sure. This is a that what did I say? 300 hands, man, touch those cigars. This isn't This is we're not, me and Jeff are on a one-man show. As far as running the brand, yeah, we are, and our blends and what we make and our marketing and our business decisions. But we need our factory partners, to do their job and be seamless. Because if there's one little, bump in the road, it affects everything. So we're not. It's not just what me, and that's what the frustrating part is. That's what gets frustrating, but that's what's part of this business, man. And that's what almost makes it.
And it's part of growing.
Challenging.
Too.
Yeah, it's part of growing, man.
It's organic. We're very organic.
Well, like you mentioned, a big brand like Fuente or Padron or Alec Bradley or one of the bigger brands that's out there. When there's volume to that level, a small hiccup can be absorbed a little more easily. When you guys are just dealing with, lots of, maybe 20,000 cigars at a time or 40,000 cigars at a time. That's
off of just one production. That's the thing. So that was just off of this production, 20,000. But you got to remember, that's off of one factory I'm working.
Yeah,
exactly. That's just off of AJ. Then we also got another, 600, 10, 20,000 cigars we're making with cannolis that are being made at the same time at Eric's. And then we got another 3 blends being made at Aganorsa. So now you're adding up all those productions at 30, anywhere between 25 and 50 grand a pop, depending on what we're getting. You're looking at 100, 150,000 just in product.
Right.
So you got to have that money, and you still got to have the money to run the company, go to business trips. We're making it happen, man. On a blue collar budget, and hard work and our passion and what we put into this, man. We don't sell out. We're not in anybody's back fucking pocket. It's harder that way. We could just get an investor but then that makes you have a whole other set of fucking problems when you deal with that. So
we're basically balling on a budget. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it. We're doing big boy productions, but we gotta really think about what we can. We gotta really be careful about how we do it if we want to have everything in stock and everything available. I mean, that's why I look closely at the reports and I see what's selling and what's not selling, and I'm like, all right, if we're not selling on that, then I'll just dump the money into this. But we have to wait for that. But we need this right now because we need product to sell.
Yeah.
So it's like a cat and mouse game, man, all day long, every day. But shit, it keeps it fun too. Keeps it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
As far as numbers go, what is the U.S. market getting for Especiale and Padron or Padrino?
At
Padrino's.
20,000. How many boxes?
Oh, boxes.
Yeah, do it in
U.S.
boxes
Well, the U.S. market's getting all of them, pretty much. I mean, we're sending a little
there's a
to
small portion
Europe.
going overseas.
Yeah, but almost all of it's going to be here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if you could let me know what airline that's going out on, just
Don't wear that shirt. Don't wear that shirt.
Yeah.
Go ahead, put gel in your hair.
Put gel in your hair. Go get a fade or something, bro.
Maybe take a shower every once in a while.
I mean, took one last week.
Well, it's funny because a lot of times consumers just assume that, that anybody working in the cigar business, is living this baller lifestyle. Like you're out there, every day driving a Maserati and, eating at the fanciest steak places every night. It's like that's most people working in the cigar business are just making their way and pushing it each and every day to, get the next sale, get the next account, get the next production.
It's a grind, man. It's a hustle, bro. You gotta be a hustler. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. We like nice things and we know how to have a good time.
Oh yeah,
we want to go out and have a good time, when we go, do the PCA. I mean, you guys hung out with us, bro. We like to have a good time, but within reason, and at the end of the day, listen, we're two guys that love tobacco. We love the cigar community. We love, the industry and the passion that goes behind it. We just want to be a part of that and in any way, shape, and form. And we just want to be a part of, people's rotation. We know there's a lot of good cigars out there. We're not sitting there saying, we make the best, we're the best. Now, do I love our cigars? Do I think we make the best shit? Yeah, of course. I mean, it's my company. It's Jeff's company. I'm going to say that. But in all honesty, let's be realistic here. There's a lot of great cigars out there in the market, man. And, we're just happy to be a part of this industry, be able to come on, on a show like this, and get in front of your audience, talk to them, have
be in the mix.
We're in the mix, man. We just want to be in the mix and be a part of the conversation.
We're in the conversation,
That's it. As long as we can maintain that level, for a long period of time, I think we'll get to where we want to get to naturally. People will see, man, these fucking guys have been doing their thing for 10 fucking years. They're not part of the fads. They're not doing like this weird shit just to get noticed. Like they're straight up dudes, they're blue collar guys. They're, traditional, a little edgy though at the same time, and we like what they're throwing down. They put down quality shit and we're going to support them, and I think after 5-10 years, when you get to that 10 year mark, especially, people don't have a choice but to respect you, because to be able to stay in this game that long and make a consistent, good product, you got to be able to gain some respect that way.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you touched on it a little bit, and we're gonna dig for a little bit more details on the new hotness. So what can you tell us about what's new and in development?
So, we haven't officially announced anything. I mean, we'll talk about it. There probably will be more of a
formal press release or whatever.
Formal press release eventually, but during this time, the past year, we were talking about, we had some production delays, selling out too quick. We're very close with, and these guys are dear to my heart because they've been good friends of mine for the past 10 years. Is Martinez Cigar Factory in Manhattan, Jesus and David. And Chris and I were talking, like, we have to come up with a plan B almost. And we want to make a new product. We want to come out with something new. Obviously, we have to eventually. And we kind of came to the conclusion that, look, let's go back home. Let's go back to New York. Jesus and those guys at Martinez are always willing to help us out since day one, since I had this little dream I wanted to get in the industry. And we went back up there, talked to them, and worked out a blend. And we're going to be making a new line out of Manhattan, New York City.
Nice.
So I'm smoking it right now, actually. And the plan is to release it at the TPE next year.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, that's got to be a different, set of challenges logistically, because, it's anytime you're working with a U.S. factory, labor costs are higher, things like that. So how does that change the
We
process?
know a guy. We know a guy.
Well, here's the other thing, though.
So
we
that's
have relationship with these people, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that
It's
always helps.
different.
Yeah.
It's different. So we're not getting beaten over the head. They're gonna do
It's
fine.
gonna
We're
work
gonna
out
do
good
fine.
for everybody.
Everybody's gonna be happy.
Yeah.
And the great thing about this cigar is what we're planning on is that it's gonna be readily available, and anyone we do after it with them, a whole series is gonna be readily available to the market.
Nice.
And that's what we need.
So just to add on to that, so basically the whole thing is we wanted to do something different, and what we were obviously just talking about, Garrett, before with some of the logistic issues when you can't get product, how it hurts sales. Listen, at the end of the day, it's not our fault, but the customers don't give a fuck. Our name's on the box, okay?
So it's our fault.
It's our fault.
It's our fault. Whether it is or it isn't,
it's our fault. So so what we came up with was like, listen, we need to be able to have more control. Number one, we're from New York. All right, that's our home.
What?
Obviously,
you guys are from New York?
yeah.
So it kind of goes with our
Alabama.
vibe anyway. We have a relationship with these people. They're one of the oldest, if not the only. I think the only one left in New York. I mean, Jesus' father started the place fucking almost 60 years ago.
It's been
like it's got
years.
history. It's got history. It speaks our vibe. And it's a way for us to fill in the holes. Where if we're like, listen, we don't have Padrino Especial right now, but we have something else. We have something else that we could offer you that is just as good from a different factory. I mean, Jesus gets really good tobacco from Plasencia, from Oliva. So we were able to go up there, really mess with some of the blends, like put our hands on the tobacco right there, and it makes it like a lot easier, man. If there's a problem, boom, we can make a phone call. Jesus, make another 5,000 sticks, no problem. And we can get them packaged and get them rolled out. We don't have to deal with customs. We don't have to deal with S-chip. We don't have to deal with a lot of things, and it works out good for everybody.
It's almost easier in a sense.
Yeah,
for sure. But isn't one of your obstacles labor cost?
We got that figured out.
All right.
Yeah. We got that figured out.
Okay.
So I will say the cigar will retail for what, Chris? Like 13, 14?
13 to 15 in that range.
Is
I mean, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
It's we want to keep it under $15.
And it goes with, that's what I'm saying. It goes with, we're both from, that's our home. It's an homage to our home. It's made in our home. It's not like it's made like the cigar is made in New York in one of the oldest. So just the story of the cigar itself. Listen, these two guys, they're from New York. They met in the Carolinas. We're making a cigar to pay homage to where we're from. We're making it with the only cigar and oldest cigar factory left in New York. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be called the Amdendola NYC series. So everything coming out of that factory moving forward will have an Amdendola NYC band on it, and then it will have the name of that cigar. So like, I'm going to drop it, Jeffy. The name of this one, because it's...
You heard it here.
You heard it here.
You heard it here.
This one because of Martinez being off the West Side Highway on I believe it's 27th Street, right off the West Side Highway in New York. We're gonna name it. We're gonna name this one the West Side Highway. The West Side Story. Sorry, the West Side Story.
West Side Story.
West Side Story. Yeah, the West Side Story.
I love that.
So we're gonna, and that also pays homage a little to Uptown Washington Heights, the Latino community. That's the West Side Story. So it kind of all goes in with with what we're trying to do. Something a little different too. So the band works different. You'll see.
It's gonna be nice. The how this happened though originally was, I totally blanked out on this, but this actually started because we did you guys know about the Connoisseur Club for smoking? Yeah. So last year Abe asked us to do January or February 2022, and ironically this was the blend that we did.
Oh yeah.
But we did it with Martinez. Because it had to be a new blend, tobacco that we haven't really worked with, or in a sense, and no bands, and it got rated, and it was one of the highest rated cigars of that month. And that's
we
when
lost by
right,
like a point. We lost by 1 point. Actually, the fucking Juan.
But then
That fucking Juan busting his
Freaking Puerto
balls when we
Ricans,
fucking
man.
saw him. Fucking guy, man.
The what was it? No. Who is it? Kevin Sheehan. He rates
Kevin,
it. He does a rating. He
Yeah.
rated us the highest. The people, when the people voted,
the club rated it. Yeah, the club rated it.
Yeah, we lost by
came
1
in
point
second.
to fucking one.
Yeah.
So after that happened, we're like, hey, this could be a thing. Let's go back to New York and really make this cigar a cigar. Add it to the lineup. And
so that 10th blend that you're smoking right now, is that are you pretty much settled on the final?
Oh, this is what it is.
Okay, right on.
It's a San Andre Maduro wrapper on a torpedo. Has an Indonesian binder and a Nicaraguan filler.
Very nice. I love it, and I love seeing, some of those stories like this where something's different coming out, from a factory in Manhattan, which you don't see a lot of. No. And seeing that people, across the country are going to be able to get their hands on, a cigar that has a story that goes outside of, and not that cigar stories are boring, but it's always fun adding something new.
It's different.
Yeah,
it's different. That's the whole
it's
point.
Us. It's us.
It fits our obviously our vibe. And not on top of that, man, like to be able to say that we, our cigar, we have a cigar that is made in New York. Like it's not made overseas. It's made, not a lot of people could say that. And it also, at the same time, fulfills the purpose of being able to bring more product to the market and fill in some of the gaps of some of the holes that we have, in our production times with our other factories. And listen, all it's gonna do is add more to our portfolio, because that's one thing you could say too. Listen, we're a younger brand. We blend the size. That's all that we do that different. We use 3, now 4 different factories. Some of them the best in Nicaragua. Now 1 in New York. We're talking to another one even outside of that, maybe in Honduras for other stuff. So I think we do things a little different for a smaller brand. I mean, a lot of smaller brands, and not comparing ourselves to nobody, because we don't like to do that. We are who we are. But they usually have 1 or 2, maybe three blends. It's all coming out of the same factory. I mean, that's a lot easier. You know how much easier I'd make my fucking life if I only had to deal with 1 factory.
It's a lot
easier. Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
And 3 blends instead of dealing with 3 blends on 1 factory, 3 blends another factory, 2 blends another factory, another 2 blends another factory. I mean, that's a lot of work for me. But I do it, and we do it because we want to be able to bring different flavors and different, renditions. Like, look at that. He's smoking a Mexican San Andreas right now. I'm smoking one of our cigars, the Cannoli Red. That's a Mexican San Andreas too. This cigar tastes nothing like our new cigar.
Completely different cigar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Completely different cigar.
And
we also have diversity. It makes us diverse. It makes our lineup diverse.
Yeah.
Where every blend, each factory, they change. They have their own uniqueness.
Oh yeah.
Because the fermentation
makes
process
our whole
is
line
different. The tobacco is different. The region it comes from is different. It's all so just because it's the same leaf doesn't mean it's going to taste the same. It's different. It's fermented. There's different factories, man.
Yeah.
Different tobacco fields, different, so that all comes into play. And I think us being able to do that, even though honestly it's more of a pain in the ass, and it's a lot more work logistically, in the long run, even though customers right now, because we're still feeling some growing pains, might be a little aggravated if they can't get the product right away, in the long run, it's going to be better for them, and they're going to appreciate it when we get it 100% like a well-oiled machine. It's going to be better for everybody. The customer, bringing variety to the table. It's going to be better for the retailer. It's going to be better for everybody. We're trying to bring the best. We're not just a copping out and say, well, you know what, this will be easier just to do here, and we're just do everything here, and we're not really gonna try to make things more difficult. You know, we make things more difficult on purpose. Pressure makes diamonds, man. You know, so, you know.
Well, if I had more of these Padrinos, I would rub this on my body. You guys,
that would help. That would help.
It would. I love this cigar.
So I have a question for you.
Oh yeah?
Is it time?
Oh, it is time.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
All right, it is time for this week's Numero de los Muertos. And as always, Numero de los Muertos brought to us by our friends at Smoke Inn. All right, Numero de los Muertos, episode 179. Garrett, what do you have for us this week?
Ooh, so this week I'm going back to statistics because we have a cool contest going on. One of our local guys, good friend of ours, Daniel Sinel, we call him Big Bear.
Big Bear!
Put out a contest in our local Minnesota Herf Connection Facebook page. Basically saying if you guess the closest number that I'm going to throw out today, he's going to give people a 5-pack, and he'll go an extra mile if you're in the comments on live.
That's right.
But that's for local people only.
And I'm throwing this out there for our local Minnesota peeps. How about that cigar is going to throw in an additional $5 from my personal stash. So
love it.
There's an extra 5 for you guys. So Garrett, what's the story this week?
All right. This is a number that so this thing kills 540 people a year globally.
A taxi cab?
No,
you can't, Ed. You can't guess. It's for the
yeah, he can.
Yeah, you guys can guess.
Oh, okay. I thought,
540 people a year
On average.
That's not a lot.
No, it's not a lot.
Is this just
Worldwide,
the
you said?
No, globally.
globally?
That's worldwide.
That's a small number.
That's a small number. I'm out.
Shark attack? No. People don't get killed. That many people get killed.
No, it's about 1.5 people a year in the U.S.
Is it disease related?
It is not disease related. It is not snake bites.
Okay, so it's a natural. It's like a disaster. It's like it's like getting hit by a car or something, right? It's not like
it's like a tsunami.
sickness.
It's a tsunami.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a wave.
Yeah. Getting close. It is not a recreational activity. It is not
It's a volcano.
It is a volcano.
Oh shit! Wow.
Seriously, 540 people a year?
500. So
wow, I didn't know that many people die a year of a fucking volcano.
Right?
Really?
Mount
here's some
Vesuvius.
Shit, I would have never thought that.
Here's some crazy statistics. Over 29 million people worldwide live within 6.2 miles of active volcanoes.
Damn.
No shit.
That puts them right in the middle of kill zone. And here's another super crazy. So do you guys know the most deadliest volcano eruption in modern times that we know of?
Modern times?
Yeah. Which is 1500 AD and sooner.
Vesuvius.
Nope.
No.
That was ancient.
Um,
Not Mount St.
I feel like
Helens.
I know this because for some reason I don't know why.
I definitely don't know this.
Was it in Europe?
I remember reading it.
It was not in Europe.
Sure you do, pal. Sure you do.
Nah, it's weird, but like random facts.
Yeah.
This is a weird one. I don't know why I knew that.
She only has the V encyclopedia. I love it.
It's not in Europe?
No.
Is it in South America?
No.
Is it in Italy? It's not in Europe, you said?
No, it's not in Europe.
Oh.
It is in Indonesia.
Oh, Indonesia. Justin over there with the big brain.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
He's on his phone looking it up.
Yeah. No, he's not.
He's on his phone looking it up.
Justin, do you know it?
I just said Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Can you come up with the
No.
volcano that's in Indonesia?
I
If I
can't.
say the name, you're going to know it.
Oh, really?
Not Kilimanjaro. That's India. It is Krakatoa.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Never
So-
would have guessed that.
I didn't know
Oh,
that was in
Krakatoa.
Indonesia.
Yeah.
Krakatoa.
Yeah, you remembered that one.
Yeah.
I think I dated her. I think I dated her in high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they got volcanoes over there. Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
volcano killed 36,000 people. But do you know what killed them?
Stampede.
Suffocation.
Mm-mm.
Not the lava? The lava?
Nope.
No, not lava.
Buried in
Not
ash.
the ash. Not the ash.
Getting away. I don't know.
No sunlight.
Nope.
The smell. The smoke.
Nope. Not the fumes. Not the ash.
What?
The tsunami it created.
What?
I said the tsunami. Didn't I say
You
tsunami?
did say,
did say
and
tsun-
I said that you're getting close.
That's why I knew it was a thing, because I remember that. I
Yeah.
don't remember where
So
it was.
it was the tsunami that actually killed 36,000 people.
Oh, shit.
What year was that?
1883.
Oh, yeah. I remember that year.
I know you do.
Oh, yeah. That was 100 years before I was born.
Yeah.
That fucking dog.
I was only 2, but I remember it.
Yeah.
So I was surprised that many people live within
That's a lot.
29 million people live basically 6 miles.
Well, the last time I was in Nicaragua, it was less than 2 weeks after I left Nicaragua, and this was January of 2018. And less than 2 weeks later, one of because there are quite a few active volcanoes in Nicaragua, and one of them, there was a minor eruption, like 10 days after I left Nicaragua. So I thought, well,
It's kind of creepy.
dodged a bullet there. Iceland's got volcanoes too, because there was years ago there was that big eruption that sent this ash cloud over like France and Spain, and people couldn't fly out of there because of the visibility and the ash in the air.
Do you know what area has the largest amount of active volcanoes?
Well, is it the Hawaiian Islands?
Mm-mm.
Hawaii, right? No?
No.
It's not Hawaii?
Nope.
Largest amount of active?
That I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alaska.
What?
Really?
I never
had no
would guess
idea.
that.
I didn't even know they had volcanoes out there.
Yeah, I didn't know they had
Holy
any.
shit.
Wow.
Yep, and most of them are underground. Most of them aren't doing big eruptions, but the most active volcanic region is Alaska.
That's nuts. I never would have guessed that.
No,
That's for sure.
never in a million years. So that was this week's Numero de los Muertos. All right, let's jump into the lightning round this week. And the lightning round brought to us by our friends at J.C. Newman Cigar Company. They are America's oldest family-owned premium cigar maker, creators of the popular Brick House, Perla Del Mar, Diamond Crown, and the American. J.C. Newman Cigar Company operates out of their 112-year-old El Reloj Cigar Factory in historic Cigar City, Tampa, Florida. For more information on their cigars or their visitor experience, visit jcnewman.com. All right, so we got some fresh lightning round questions for you guys since you were on the show before. So I'm going to
Oh boy,
Chris on this
here we
one.
go. Oh boy, here we go.
So, Chris, who was your number one celebrity crush when you were a kid or a teenager?
Oh, that's a Jeter, man. That was a big, 96, 97
No,
Yankee
crush,
Jeter, man.
bro.
Crush.
Crush. You had a
Crush.
crush on Jeter?
Oh no!
I mean, hey.
What are you, a Fanuc?
I mean, if that's
I thought
if
you
that's
meant
how
like
you roll, bro.
my favorite celebrity, like my favorite celebrity. Who I
Not
looked up to.
favorite.
No,
Crush,
no.
Chris.
Somebody you had a crush on.
Oh,
Somebody you had the hot
Chris
for.
had a crush on Jeter.
Okay, hold on.
apparently.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot to
Let me
unfold
see.
here.
I mean, he is a beautiful man,
come
but
on.
Now he's gonna say Betty White or something.
yeah.
Does it? Well, no, I'm not. Well, this is okay. I'm gonna say Jessica Rabbit, man. I love Jessica Rabbit back in the day.
oh, that's a good answer. That's a good
When I was a
answer.
little kid, man, I love Jessica Rabbit, man.
I love it.
Jeff, what about
There
you?
go.
Jeter.
Yeah, not
There
my
you go.
type.
No, it was
The
Mo
first one.
Rivera.
Yeah, he liked Mariano. That was more his,
Yeah,
that was more his
Mariano.
flow.
Rivera. Yeah, great picture. No, the one I can remember would be Jennifer Lopez,
Oh,
Jenny
J-Lo.
from the
Oh,
Block,
yeah.
J-Lo.
Good choice. Good
still-
Always
choice,
had a
my
crush
friend.
on. Always had a crush
Still-
on her.
even in her 50s, she's
She's money, man.
She's still a smoke
She
show.
has that vibe, though. I don't know. I just when I first saw her, and I'm like, oh
yeah.
J-Lo.
Yeah. If you could, Jeff, you're going to be first on this one. If you could bring back any fashion trend from the past, what would it be?
Oh, easy. I bring back the 1920s.
Oh, yeah.
What specifically?
Where-
Like a zoot suit?
Well, not only the zoo suit, but back then everyone, all the men wore suits. You know what I mean? Like it was normal. Like
Yeah.
nice shirt, nice jacket, hat. You know what I'm saying? No matter what they did, they always had a suit. I
Yeah.
think that'd
Even
be cool. I think it shows respect.
yeah.
That'd be cool to see. Now
Absolutely.
everyone looks like bums. We all look like bums.
Look like bums.
This guy right
Look
Little
like
here.
Walmart
Unabombers,
pajamas.
like that sleep in the woods. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Chris, what about you?
Honestly, I'd probably have to go with what Just said. I don't want to, cop out and make it easy, but I'm the same way, man. I love the old. As much as I'm tatted up and I got my, modern ways about me. I still that old traditional shit comes out. Growing up, and I love that old 1920s, 30s style.
I would love to see that.
I love when I could wear a three-piece suit. Like when I can rock. You see my wife, she's like, you're like a little. When I get to go somewhere, I'm like, oh, I can rock my three-piece. Like because not a lot of people do that anymore. So
Yeah.
Back then, like what Jeff was saying, it just that whole era was just class.
Yeah.
So.
I love the idea of the next event we do up this way, Jeff. We do a 1920s night. All the gals dressed like flappers.
See how he says just Jeff? He doesn't even say Chris. I don't even get a fucking invite anymore. Look at that.
Well,
I don't even get the fucking invite from him.
Chris,
He's
you're
like,
coming because we got to see you.
now.
Are you? Here's the question. Are you gonna come, Chris?
I will come. How about that? I will come.
All right.
You're going to come to Minnesota in February?
No, when is this event? Hold on a second. Make sure it's in the summer.
It's got to be between April and September.
Yeah. We'll do it when it's
in the
nice.
summertime.
We'll do it when it's nice up here.
I think that'd be a great idea, though.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Gatsby theme, fresh hand rolled cigars. Everyone come out looking nice.
Honestly, I always wanted to go
it's
up
a
there.
Caraway Club.
Midwest. I've never been out there.
We got the perfect
love
place
to go
for
out
it too.
Perfect little speakeasy place.
There's this awesome speakeasy place. There's a tailoring shop, a grooming shop. It's like old school, like walking back in time, bespoke kind of.
I love that.
It's a great spot.
Jeffrey,
I
you
have
get
an
your
old
shoe
soul,
shine.
anyway.
You get your shoe shine.
I'm
you know
gonna do it.
There you
Nice.
go.
My shoe
There you
shine.
go.
I'm gonna get a lineup.
We'll make it
There you
happen.
go.
I like it.
All right,
I'm in.
Chris,
What's up?
the zombies are coming.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. All right.
We
You get
are.
to
We're
pick
here.
3 cigar industry people to be on your zombie apocalypse survival team. Who do you
shit.
pick and why?
Oh shit, man. Well, Jeff was one, right?
Mhm.
I count my partner obviously is the first one. The second one,
Now, who
We
can run
live together
faster?
and we die together.
Who can run faster between the two of you?
Well, right now I can, obviously.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, pal. But all right. Long
I'm
as
good
you
with a
think
bow and
so.
arrow too. I'm good with a bow and arrow.
There you go.
But
And axes.
obviously Jeff would be one. Then I would probably who else? Probably actually Brian Matola.
Oh, that was mine.
I'm gonna say Brian Matola with
I love it.
Illusione. And I don't know. It'd be a cross between. It'd
Across.
be between either. I would have to. I don't know. It'd have to be like a toss up between. I guess what Juan Cancel or I don't know. Mike Herklocks. There you go. Mike Herklocks.
Nice.
I love
There
it.
you go.
Nice.
He's
All
a
right,
good
Jeff.
dude, so.
I'm gonna go with obviously Chris. I was gonna say Brian Matola because he's just that type of guy that's like, fuck it. And I'll go with Juan Cancel.
There you go.
Solid teams.
Yeah, good teams.
Yeah. Let's have a good time. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. That's a good time.
All right, let's jump into this week's notable smokable. And as always, notable smokables brought to us by our friends at Luciano Cigars. Notable cigars, notable passion, notable purpose. So you guys know this. Each week we name a cigar that we smoked recently that was notable to us. It could be a cigar that's been on the market for decades that we smoked for the first time in a long time, or a cigar we've tried for the first time ever. Obviously, you guys are smoking mostly your own stuff, but every once in a while, if you get a chance to jump outside of the Amdendola family cigars portfolio, is there anything you smoked recently that stood out to you?
I got one.
Yeah.
Like stood out to me a lot was handed to me by the man himself. It was from HVC.
Rainier Lorenzo.
Rainier Lorenzo handed me one, a brand new green box. I think it's the Selección. I don't even know if it's out yet. I think it just came out. But man, that cigar was fantastic. Stood out.
Nice.
It was great. I told him it's an awesome cigar. Corona size. Yeah, delicious. Out of his new factory.
He makes good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, great cigar.
What about you?
Honestly, it's not really usually in my wheelhouse because I usually do like darker, like that HVC. Actually, Jeff, I just smoked that this last night. It was very good. Yeah.
Good cigar. Great cigar.
Yeah, it was a really good cigar. But that's more my flavor profile. But I have to say, recently I actually smoked one of Mike's cigars, the Ferio Tego. What was it? It was the Generoso.
Oh
yeah.
It was called Bro, it was a really good cigar, man.
That's a good cigar.
You know, like it's weird because I know it's more Nat Sherman, the Davidoff, where it's like more of that sweeter and it's usually more Dominican
floral,
tobacco, so floral and lighter. And that's what I had it with actually a Cristalino tequila.
Yeah.
And man, it just paired so good with it. I was very impressed. It was a great cigar. So shout out to Mike with Mike Herklocks. That was a really good smoke. He gave it to me actually when we were down there at the Smoke Inn. I still had it in my humidor. I was like, fuck it, man. Let me try something different this week. And I was very impressed. It was a very good cigar.
Nice. So, yeah, that was legit. Garrett, what was yours this week?
The cigar that stood out to me the most this week was the Aladino Corojo Reserva number 4.
Good cigar.
So it's their limited release that they do every year, and it's the Reserva in this Corona. I've got one for you.
Is it a box press? Is it a box press?
Not. No, it's not the box. It's not a box press. It's round, okay. And it is stupid.
Nice.
Good.
Nice.
Wait, is that the one, the Aladino with the red band? Does it have a red band on it? The A with the red behind it?
The lettering is red, I think.
No, so it's brown and yellow.
Oh, brown and yellow. Okay.
With the white tissue paper.
The one with the red is the Cameroon.
Correct.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
That one's also fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what? I've had that Corojo one. That I do. That is a very good cigar. Actually, I remember where I got it. I got it at Mom's Cigar in Yonkers. Actually.
Oh yeah.
Jeff, remember when we were up there at Mom's?
Mm-hmm.
That's when, and that because I remember
I got
that
one
was
up
a really
there
good
too. I
cigar.
got one up.
In Aladino's, it's right, brown and yellow. It had the white tissue paper on it. It was a Corojo. That was That was a good cigar. I've had that before. That was a good cigar.
So I don't remember when it was, but mine was the Blackwork Studio. They've got the series, the limited series that are like the barber pole.
Oh yeah.
And one of them, the newest one, is called the Tiger Lily.
Torpedo. The Torpedo.
No, it's not Torpedo. It's just a Toro. But they did like the Neon Tiger, and then they did the Shere Khan, and this newest one's Tiger Lily, and it's more Connecticut forward.
I haven't had it yet.
Connecticut shade forward, and I just smoked it this morning actually, and the cigar is legit. I mean, it's not just beautiful because of all that barber pole, those different wrapper leaves on it, but the flavor, the burn was just killer. Really nice morning cigar, super mild.
Listen, I've been a big proponent. You know, I'm a brand owner. You know, Jeff knows this, but I've always loved from the jump. He knows when he met me, Black Label, Works, Black Label Trading. I love because they make stronger cigars, which is all definitely in my wheelhouse. You know, a lot of the shit that James Brown makes is got some kick to it. You know, the Killer Bee, the Green Hornet.
Oh yeah.
You know, all the what is it?
Those are good. Yeah.
The Boondock Saints. I don't know if you guys ever had the Boondock Saints. Has an awesome cigar. The Morphine is an awesome cigar. So shout out to them, man. They Blackworks puts out some great cigars. So no doubt about it. Especially if you like more bold, in your face, firecrackers, man. They got. So,
yeah.
Sure.
So that was this week's Notable Smokables, brought to us by Luciano Cigars, improving lives through fine cigars. Please visit lucianocigars.com to learn more. So let's hit you guys with some coming attractions that we have in the next few weeks, and they are brought to us by our friends at AJ Fernandez. They now produce unparalleled premium cigars in Esteli, Nicaragua. The AJ Fernandez portfolio of cigars provides blend strength and flavor profiles to match the preferences of any premium cigar consumer. Whether it's New World, Dias de Gloria, San Latano, Enclave, or Bellas Artes, you are sure to be satisfied with a premium cigar from AJ Fernandez. So next week on the show, we have a returning guest for his second appearance on How About That Cigar Live. On the 14th, we have none other than Dave Garofalo from Two Guys Smoke Shop. And from the Cigar Authority podcast, he's one of the biggest names in the cigar business. Great dude. So happy to have him back on the show next week. And then at the end of November, on the 28th, we have Tim Osgener from Osgener Family Cigars. And we've gotten a little bit of the story from some of the other folks at Crown Heads, but excited to get the story directly from him on him getting back on the horse and back into the cigar business full time. So that is what we have coming up. So Jeff and Chris, give our viewers and listeners, where's the best place for all of them to keep up with everything you guys have going on with Amdendola family?
Yeah, definitely our Instagram page. We're very active there. Post a lot of our events, product and everything. Follow us on Instagram at Amdendola Family Cigars, as well as Facebook. We are actually, I'm in the process of revamping some of the Facebook, where we're gonna we have an event group on Facebook, but we're gonna change it into more of a community group for people that love and want to support and follow Amdendola Family Cigars. So go to Facebook and do that. And stay tuned for that coming soon at AmendolaFamilyCigars.com.
Nice. Well, guys, thank you so much for being back on the show, for returning guests on episode 179. Always great to talk to you. And we wish you the best as this year closes out. And we hope that 2023 is even better than 2022 was for you guys.
Well, thank you guys for having us, man, and shout out to you guys for always having our back, man, from the jump, and all your supporters and taking the time to listen to what me and Jeff have to say and have the interest in what we're doing. We're not going to stop. We appreciate all you guys. You know, stay humble. Don't forget where you come from, man. That's our motto. We're working hard day and night to try to bring to you the best that we can. So stick with us. We ain't going nowhere, and we'll see you on the next one, man. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
Right
guys.
on.
Appreciate it all. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yep. And we'll see
Absolutely.
you guys at TPE.
We will.
For
yes.
sure, man.
Yes.
For
Absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely.
With this.
Yes.
Yes.
Delicious.
Yes.
With the
Delicious.
Padrino, we'll have Padrinos.
Mm.
We were
All
trying
right,
to put
so-
something special together for PCA, but we'll talk about that another time. We'll see. Might
All
have something
right.
special at our booth this year.
Love it.
So,
Love it.
all right, guys.
Very
Thanks,
cool.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So for
Have
our
a-
viewers and listeners, guys, thank you so much for watching live on Facebook and live on YouTube. And if you're listening on the audio podcast, of course, thank you so much for listening to us. We appreciate all your support. If you guys have questions, you can email us on the website, howaboutthatcigar.com. Be sure to follow us on all social media at HBT Cigar. And of course, until we see you next time, burn cigars.
Not bridges.
See you guys.
Thanks, everybody.